Opening Kill the film begins 1 year after the Plymouth Massacre. A cozy Thanksgiving gathering in a small Massachusetts town turns bloody when a masked figure in a pilgrim costume slaughters a family at their dinner table. The survivor, a teenage boy, whispers he's back before collapsing. News spreads quickly. John Carver has returned. Jessica's struggled Jessica, still traumatized from last year's carnage, tries to live a quiet life in Boston. Therapy and media attention haven't helped her move on. She blames herself for the deaths of her friends and family. But when she sees the news of the new killings, her nightmare reignites. Her gut tells her it's not a copycat. Carver has unfinished business. The return to Plymouth reluctantly, Jessica returns to Plymouth for Thanksgiving, hoping to face her fears. So, the town is quieter but uneasy, with empty storefronts and boarded-up houses. The mayor organizes a memorial parade, insisting Plymouth must reclaim its tradition. Behind the smiling faces, tension brews. Many townsfolk blame Jessica for the curse that has returned to their town. A copycat or the real thing? Police claim it's a new killer inspired by Carver's legacy, but Jessica isn't convinced. The murders are too precise, too personal. She begins investigating, noticing that each victim has some connection to last year's Black Friday riot. Someone is tying up loose ends. She fears that her name is next on the list. The masked warning late at night, Jessica finds a pilgrim mask left on her doorstep, splattered with blood. A note tucked inside reads, "The feast is not over." Panic sets in, but instead of fleeing, she decides to fight back. She recruits a few surviving friends determined to finally stop Carver. But paranoia spreads. Could one of them secretly be the killer? Carver's return during the town's memorial service, the killer strikes again. Fireworks light the sky as Carver brutally kills a parade float driver, causing chaos. People trample each other, fleeing the scene, echoing the deadly riot from the first film. Police distrust Sheriff Newland assures the town that law enforcement has everything under control. But Jessica doesn't trust him. She suspects the killer may even be inside the police department. The sheriff orders her to stay out of the investigation. Instead, Jessica digs into old case files, discovering missing evidence and covered-up reports. Someone powerful has been protecting Carver. A new survivor, Jessica, meets Ben, the teenage boy from the opening massacre. Traumatized and mute, he scribbles drawings of a pilgrim mask and knives. Through him, Jessica realizes Carver isn't killing randomly. He's recreating a ritualistic Thanksgiving feast where each victim plays a symbolic role. The final course is always the main dish, Jessica. The Corn Maze Massacre, Jessica and her friends attend a county fair, hoping to act as bait. But Carver strikes, trapping them in a massive corn maze. One by one, fairgoers are hunted, screams echoing through the fields. Jessica narrowly escapes, but one of her closest friends is butchered with a sickle. The town can no longer deny. They are under siege again. Media frenzy, national news swarms Plymouth, branding it the Thanksgiving town of death. Reporters sensationalize every murder, frustrating Jessica. She warns them they are feeding the killer's ego. That night, a TV anchor is killed live on camera by Carver, who hijacks the broadcast with a chilling message. This is tradition. This is family. This is Thanksgiving. Doubts and division, Jessica's friends begin to turn on each other, paranoia fracturing their trust. Accusations fly. Who could be helping Carver? Some think Jessica herself is involved, given her connection to every attack. Even Jessica starts doubting those closest to her. The killer's greatest weapon is fear, and it's tearing the survivors apart. Returned to the store, Jessica revisits the abandoned shopping mall where the first massacre began. Dust and debris cover the once busy space. In a chilling twist, she finds a Thanksgiving table set up with mannequins dressed as pilgrims, each representing a victim. At the head of the table sits an empty chair labeled with her name. Carver has been preparing this feast all year. The ambush Carver attacks Jessica inside the mall, chasing her through escalators and broken storefronts. She fights back using old weapons left behind. Just when she's about to be killed, Ben unexpectedly intervenes, saving her. But Carver escapes, leaving behind only a trail of blood. Jessica realizes she can't keep running. She must lure him into her own trap. A deadly plan, Jessica devises a plan. Recreate Thanksgiving dinner as bait. She gathers the remaining survivors at an isolated farmhouse, setting a table with food, candles, and weapons hidden in plain sight. Everyone knows it could be a slaughter, but Jessica insists it's their only chance. They lock the doors, waiting for Carver to strike. The feast of death at midnight, Carver breaks in. Chaos erupts as he slashes through the survivors one by one. The farmhouse becomes a war zone, turkeys burned, dishes shattered, blood soaking the floor. Jessica battles him hand-to-hand, finally unmasking him. To her horror, it's someone she trusted all along, Sheriff Newlon. He reveals he was Carver's brother, continuing his legacy. The twist within the twist, as Jessica processes the betrayal, the real Carver emerges from the shadows. The sheriff wasn't the true mastermind, just a pawn. The original killer, scarred but alive, had been pulling the strings. He kills Newlon without hesitation, proving no one is safe. Jessica is now face to face with the man who destroyed her life. The final fight, Jessica and Carver battle viciously in the farmhouse kitchen. She uses knives, hot pans, and even a boiling pot of gravy to fight him off. Ben tries to help but is gravely injured. Carver overpowers Jessica, pinning her to the table, ready to carve her like a turkey. With last-second desperation, she drives a carving fork into his chest, turning the blade on him. The struggle knocks over candles, igniting the farmhouse. Flames spread quickly as Jessica delivers the final blow, stabbing Carver in the neck with the carving fork. She drags Ben outside, collapsing on the frozen ground as the house burns behind them. The town watches from a distance, believing the nightmare is finally over. Aftermath, Jessica wakes in a hospital bed, wounded but alive. Authorities confirm Carver's body was never recovered from the ashes. Survivors whisper that he may return. Jessica, staring at the ceiling, knows deep down the fight isn't finished. Evil like Carver doesn't die so easily. Thanksgiving will never feel safe again. Post-credit scene in a rural farmhouse far from Plymouth. A shadowed figure tends to wounds in front of a mirror. He pulls on the pilgrim mask once more, blood dripping onto the floor. Outside, a family prepares for Thanksgiving dinner, unaware of the danger approaching. Carver whispers coldly, "The feast must continue."